the chief executive OTC, over-the-counter Global Holdings. He was also the president and CEO of Choice Energy, and he founded. He's also a minority stakeholder of the Texans, the Houston Texans, and of course on the board of the Houston Food Bank since 2012. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Patricia.
I wanted to start with, today was a big day for Catholics, I guess, and for many Americans who got to see the Pope. And one of the reasons he seems to be so popular with people who are not Catholic as well is that his focus is on poverty and on hunger and helping the poor and helping the hungry. And you have chosen to be a philanthropist in this area, particularly hunger. Why did you choose that area as a philanthropist?
Well, it's one area that I thought I could make a difference, and I've had friends that serve on the Houston Food Bank, so they asked me. Specifically, they thought my background in commodities could help.
Training, right.
But the reality is, we all do what we can. And so here in Houston, where I've made my home, and we've had the good fortune to build a thriving business, I felt that there was one area that I could help in the community. But really, education, giving underprivileged kids an opportunity for school is something that's passionate to both me and my wife and my partners at OTC.
And you were just recently at a Legacy luncheon. Legacy is a community clinic service, so you're all over helping people.
Do as much as we can.
Yes, yes. Now, you had a great story at Columbia. You were not only a student, but you were also an athlete. You were a football player. And you had something happen. Share the anecdote.
Usually football players and students at Columbia are not used to the same sentence.
Exactly. But you had something happen that also impacted you and your life later in life. What happened in that game? It was a particular game.
Well, I was part of the infamous streak, and so you may hear from a lot of different people. Frankly, the streak was good for me.
Right.
There was no way.
You were happy.
There was no way a kid from El Paso, first generation Mexican American, and the grades I had was going to get into Columbia without that streak. So I think first of all, the administration, the coaches figured we're going to seek far and wide to find a student athlete that could come to Columbia and try to help us. So first of all, that aspect of it, but seriously, being part of an organization, having you have goals and having some adversity. I was a sophomore, so back then you're as the first part of the streak. Back then, as a freshman, you couldn't play varsity football. My sophomore year, Princeton either was the third or fourth game, but we had lost 44 games in a row.
Uh-oh.
And so
not a good streak.
Not a good streak. No, they were actually, I know seniors, and they're actually alum from Columbia that never won a football game in their career.
Wow.
Fortunately, I won 3 in my career.
That's good.
But no, we broke the streak against Princeton, led by the Garretts. Coach Garrett had been a coach at Columbia, so there was a lot of ties. Jason Garrett, the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, was a quarterback. But no, it was a memorable time.
But you learned something about, you let one of the players go, and you didn't think it was a big deal, and then they really got on you, all the other players, right?
That was the tight end for Princeton was Mark Rockefeller. He was of the Rockefeller family. I asked him for a job during the game, and
you didn't get it.
he told me what I could do with that job. But no, he actually beat me late in the game on a pass. He was wide open. Jason overthrew him.
Yeah.
And they would have won the game because it was late. It was maybe a couple minutes left in the game.
So you got lucky.
I got lucky. I jogged back to the huddle and kind of nonchalantly. I had everybody with big eyes was looking at me like, what did you just do? And I was like, my bad, guys.
Yeah.
But I was a sophomore. I was just happy to be playing. I didn't think anything about a streak.
But I'm sure you're not too happy with your minority owner of the Texans. And
we're going from one struggling football team to another struggling football team.
Since we're the subject of football,
okay.
Do you think we'll ever get better quarterback playback?
Well, first of all, there's everybody talks about, well, why don't you get a franchise quarterback? Well, they don't grow on trees, and there's 20 teams in the NFL that need a elite quarterback, if you will. But no, we've got two talented guys. We're building a very talented defense. Our formula is going to be play great defense, great special teams, don't turn over the ball, keep it close, and win. And even in these first two games, we were in it to the end, at least to tie it. Now, obviously, we're not in it to tie or to be mediocre.
Yeah.
We're in it to win, just like any organization, just like any competitive sport. But I think you're going to see us play much better football.
You're a very patient man. And you come from a family of 7, right? Your parents were immigrants, and they were very hardworking immigrants. All of your siblings have been extremely successful, academically, professionally, financially. And we could hear from you say, well, hard work and academics, very important in your home. But isn't there more than that? Because there are many people who are successful academically and successful, they work hard, and yet they don't make it the way your family made it. So what do you think, besides hard work and a good education, does it take?
Well, it's a good question. It's a tough question, but it's one that I want to instill in my daughter and say, okay, what was that recipe? What was that formula for success? But I think, just like many immigrants, certainly that they came to this country. My parents brought us to this country to pursue the American dream. And so when you say success, there's a lot of meanings. What does that mean, right? So there's certainly financial success, and several of my siblings and I have achieved certain levels of financial success. But I also have a sister who's been in education and living on a teacher's salary, married to a football coach, and I think she's very successful.
Exactly.
But I think for us, I think it was certainly the work ethic that was instilled in our parents, and by observation, by seeing them. But I also think my brothers and sisters were led a path for me. I'm the 6th of 7 kids, so I saw that, hey, getting an education, working hard, and really for me, when I talk to kids, and for that matter, entrepreneurs, pursue something that you're passionate about. Because I think if you find something you really enjoy, you're going to spend time thinking about it, whether it's in the shower before going to work, it's afterwards, you're just passionate about it. You end up spending more time doing it. So success naturally comes with that. So really just, I think we were fortunate that we all found professions or jobs that we really enjoyed, and that really helped us achieve a certain level of financial success and independence.
My last question has to do with your daughters. You have 2 girls.
I do have 2 girls.
I'm sure you wanted to have boys, but you got the girls. You're blessed amongst women. What do you think is really important for you as a dad to raise emotionally intelligent young women? What do you want to do? What will your legacy be with your daughters?
Wow, what's up? Now I'm getting some tough questions, Patricia. I'm barely figuring out my wife, much less how to emotionally affect young women. No, I think it's important in my role to really role model for my daughters what a man and a
what a good
father
man should be like.
What it should be like, because you read it, and when I think myself, oh gosh, if I'm role modeling, they're going to marry a guy like me. So I'm like,
So you better behave.
I better behave. But no, I think there's certain aspects, obviously, that they will need to model off to. So I take that very serious. But I also I want to expose them to as many different things and have them make their choices. Speaking of football, I take them to football games. But no, I think just being not that the same characteristics that Lucinda, my wife, will instill, maybe very similar, but it's different when
you're the dad.
Yes, and so just that being honest and forthright and doing what you say you're going to do, and all are very meaningful. So yes,
being a man of integrity.
Being a man of integrity, and so. Yes, God has a sense of humor in giving me 2 daughters when I wanted boys.
I know. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Loya, for joining us.
I appreciate it.
And for sharing with us with the Columbia Connection.
Yeah, go Lions.
All right. You can talk. Thank you very much.
All right.
Well, it's one thing that dads don't realize is that for women,